Hello and welcome to my little live Q&A about my book, Full Throttle and Torque, where I want to answer a few questions. If anybody's looked at my morning's recording, I had like 7 minutes of not talking because I went live stream before it was meant to. So that was kind of funny. How's your hot chocolate, Gayatri?
I'm waiting for it. I just ordered it. I'm waiting for it. I needed to get away from the house.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so I'll just be talking at you guys, but you can ask me questions in between if you like. But I have a few questions that a lot of people have been asking me, so I thought I'd start with those ones. So the first one is, um, if you want to go on mute again, I can probably mute you. Can I mute you? Gayatri, let me get you. Oh yeah, there you are. So the first question then asked me that people ask is, why did I write this book? So I went on as the lovely Dave Wally will attest to, in 2022 in September, I had this brilliant idea, which I run by him. So Dave's my partner, and I said, you know what I want to do for my 60th in 2023? I'm going to shave my hair off. He was not impressed. I can tell you that much. But I did, and I ran a campaign about, because just before that, in that year, both my brother and my sister had been diagnosed as neurodivergent. So I wanted to raise awareness and funds for projects specifically for girls and women. So I did, and I shaved my waist long hair off on the 2nd of April 2023. And I raised over $9,000 that went to projects through 100 women and buy one, give one. So that was pretty cool. Um, and then and then I thought, well, what can I do in 2024? This is Christmas 2023. So got to do something amazing. So I'm gonna start writing a book. So typical for me, I tend to be a little bit optimistic, and so I thought I could write a book from January and have it ready for my birthday in March. And I started out with full flair, and I was writing, and I got 20,000 words in zero time. And then I continued to write and write and write those 20,000 words again, and trying to structure them into different ways and all that sort of stuff. I even had an accountability partner. Um, and it sort of went. I've gone onto a different track here now. I'm more talking about the process, but than the why. I will come back to the why as the next question. So this is more the process that I went to, but and so I went into full writer's block. I spent basically 10 months writing, regurgitating the same words and trying to put them into different structures and I have my dream compass for my coaching. I had different systems. I had roadmaps and things like that. And I was just, and I didn't tell anybody that I was just writing and writing the same words again and again and again. It was like I think it was like Jack Nicholson in that Shining, where he was like writing the same words again and again. I don't I don't think I'm like Jack Nicholson in any way, not even the character in that movie. Anyway, I had a chat with some a book coach that I met online on LinkedIn uh, in um, uh, in November 2023. So we're now like 10 months in of not having gotten anywhere. And she said to me at the end of the call, she said, so who are you writing for? And I'm like, oh, I'm writing for all the women like me, all the quirky people like me, all the people that need to get visible like me. And then I'm writing for their family and friends. And then I'm writing for their employers. I'm writing for everybody. And she's going, uh, 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 uh. So thank you, Kylie. She just went, so you don't think there's enough women out there who are struggling to get visible, who are struggling to, create the impact they were born for? So I'm going, yeah, probably. In actual fact, I think it's more than women, and not just women. I think it's all visionaries and thought leaders that have this mission that we're on. So with that, I then went back in and I in 4 weeks, I wrote the whole thing, free writing, something that I learned while I was trying to do my professional doctorate. I just wrote all the stories, wrote them. I had an idea of a structure, but I just wanted to write them all. And then I worked, so I did that in 2 weeks over the Christmas period. And then I spent 2 weeks working with ChatGPT that I trained to kind of put it into a structure to try to get it into something um, that was aligned with my sort of motorcycle adventures and things. So that was kind of cool. So I got that in place, and then at the end of it, I went, okay, I need help. So I went and I put a post on Facebook and on LinkedIn, and I said, hey, I need a book agent, something. I need somebody to help me. And through that, a friend called Chris told me about an author called Susanna, and she told me when we met about Nathan, who is my human intelligent agent. And so, or my muse, if you like. So I met with Nathan, we hit it off, and Nathan was then, has then given me the structure for writing. So I didn't know all about this. So I had no idea about how you write stories and things. I was just writing. I'm a reasonable storyteller, but I had no idea about the structures and things. So he gave me that. And then what I did is I went in and I trained my GPT. That's called Gia, by the way. She's called Generous Intelligent Assistant. And I trained her in the frameworks. I also trained her in the journey we wanted to take. And then we were able to put that into a structure. So when my so that was first. So then I got my first draft ready and I sent it to Nathan. He then gave me feedback, and then I could go back over it and work through it. And some of the things I went through AI with, but most of it is kind of me and Nathan working on that. So that was kind of cool. Now I can move to why I wrote the book, not because of my siblings or my Celebrating Differences campaign where I shaved my hair off. But I actually wrote the book because after 30 plus years in the tech industry or in male dominated industries, because all the areas where I've worked, I was so sick and tired of, seeing people who mm, were told people women generally, but also migrants, or also other people that are neurodivergent that were being told they're too much or too direct or rude or whatever. And then at the same time, we're feeling, oh, okay, I obviously don't, it's a communication issue, it's a language thing, but it's not necessarily a language thing, it's actually a cultural thing and all that. So I was so sick and tired of seeing all these people go through that. So I thought that if I could share my story, my journey, then maybe I could inspire others to step up and be out there. And for anybody who knows me, you know that I'm very, I'm very visible online, and that's where I want to help other people get to, to be seen and heard and make the difference and create the impact that you were born for. So that's kind of the reasoning behind it. And I think I've had kind of a fun life, growing up in Norway and traveling around everywhere. I'm a sucker for new people. I love new people, and love new places. I love to travel. So, you know, on as a little anecdote there, like here in Australia, all the people from Melbourne are saying, "Oh, you didn't have COVID in Perth or in Western Australia." And we hardly did, but we were locked in and we weren't actually allowed to go anywhere. So that was almost worse for me than the COVID. Although, and I don't have COVID now, but I do have some virus that's sitting there. So yeah. So back to the story and the reasoning. I feel that my story has been kind of quite interesting, and there's movement in it, and there's um living in Africa as a teenager, studying in the UK, working all over the world, jumping on a plane to South Africa at half a day's notice to fix up problems and all that sort of stuff. So I just feel like I've got stories to tell that can inspire others to say, you know what, you are enough, you are important, you are valued, and you need to be seen and heard so that you can actually be uh, achieve your mission and whatever that is, whether that is for your community, for your family, for in your work life, or as a coach or a business owner. I don't really care what your goals are. I just want you to be seen. So that's why. Um, let's see. So I generally say that the book is for looking at my notes, sorry. I say that the book is for women visionaries and thought leaders, but really it's for visionaries and thought leaders of any kind that have felt that they haven't been able to achieve what they wanted to achieve or be seen and heard altogether. So it's not just for women. And but if you haven't experienced those issues that you know that we're talking about here, and I know that most people have at some stage, but often it's not because of your gender or your race or your age. Welcome to ageism. I'm 62. Thank you very much. Never thought that would happen to me. Anyway, um, but 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 um, but I just think it's for anybody. But if you're not in that category of not having been seen and heard, you probably know somebody. So I would love you to take this opportunity to grab a copy of my book. So this is what I'm doing at the moment. I'm running a campaign on Kickstarter because I thought that would be fun. I can put together all sorts of combinations, a book bundle, a book and a workshop, um, keynotes, running something for your business, running something for your team, and things like that. But I do think that it's confused a few people because they go, Kickstarter, what's this? This is like crowdfunding. I'm not going to get anything. You can get loads of stuff on there. It's just you need to know that you have to look for it. So that's why I did it. So in hindsight, maybe it wasn't the best platform, but I do love the flexibility and I do love the idea of having it. So, I am, somebody has asked me, okay, are you looking for a co-author? And I'm going, no, not necessarily. I've written most of the book, but um, I do want people to comment. I want people to read through a couple of chapters and that sort of stuff. So there's options in there to actually get your name in the book, and there's only two or three of those. Get your name in the book, be part of the journey. If you're a designer, maybe you want to help with the cover and the book design, all that sort of stuff. So there are options for that on the Kickstarter campaign as well. Whew. What else have I got? I've talked about the AI, I've talked about that. Any questions from you, Dave and Gayatri? You need to unmute that. You need to swipe it to the that side. Now you can speak.
No, you've explained things very well to me, Agree there.
Okay.
Of a lot better understanding now of why you're doing the actual book there, and I love the way of explaining things and wanting to put down on paper, so people can enjoy your experiences. Well
Good.
done.
So that they can get visible and do what they're meant to do, like you do with your coaching.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Yes, of course. Yeah, yeah.
perfect.
Helping people there. Yeah, excellent.
Thank you. How about you, Gayatri? Do you have any questions?
Great. Just this, is this book about stories from your experiences in your professional world, or is it general experiences, or what kind of stories are you telling?
So the stories start with my childhood. So there are seven stages. I should talk about the seven stages of Full Throttle and Torque. It's called Full Throttle and Torque because that's my motorcycle kind of thing. And I should probably also explain the name Full Throttle and Torque. I am very energetic and I do talk a lot, but it's not TALK. It's TORQUE, which is the drive of the engine and things like that. So I just really like that name. To others it's probably weird, but I think it's a good analogy for being able to be who you are. So I go through seven stages, and they are kind of aligned with the motorcycle journey. So there's this pre-start check, which is kind of before the seven stages, where you kind of go in and set up the map and the journey and why and all that sort of stuff. Then there's the kickstand down, which is where I start talking about what getting used to my alien. I call myself an alien. So it is my alien road trip because I've always been a little bit different to the people around me. But I think that's cool, right? I think we all need to celebrate differences. So I don't really understand um, uh, the problem with that, if you like. Um, so that's that one. And then ignition is about going through the so there's 7 stages. I won't go through all of them, but it's kind of takes you through that journey. So I start with my childhood and how I was brought up and things like that. And then I go through like early years, student years, and that sort of stuff. So it's about being different and being visible at the same time. So I'm kind of like a dichotomy myself. I'm kind of one of those people on one side that's super loud and confident, and then on the other side I've got this little voice in the background that says, "You're not enough. You're not enough. You're not enough." Right? So it's kind of um, through that. I mean, it's when I first came to Australia, and my first boss told me to salute him, all those little fun games, and we were going, no, I don't think so, so yeah, and then getting into so the latter chapters are more about leaving a legacy and stepping into advocacy and things like that. So that not chapters. There's actually we call them stages. I was calling them throttle zones, but I think that not a lot of women kind of get that whole motorbike thing. So I thought, okay, let me just call them stages of a journey, because I think people can probably relate more to that. So yeah, so it's everything from my very loud and boisterous family in the north of Norway through to my African experiences and an elephant running at our car, and you have no idea how small a Toyota Land Cruiser is compared to a big male African elephant. It's very small, even if it's got 6 people in there. And like little things like that. Uh, yeah. So I don't know. Did that answer your question? Cool. But anything else?
No, agree.
Okay, thank you. How about you, Gayatri? Any other questions?
No,
No.
like,
Perfect.
okay, I'm gonna ask you, like, what would be the key takeaway for people reading your book?
Now you're interviewing me. The key takeaways is really for me, it's about daring to be who you are and not listening to all the bad voices, whether they come from external or internal, but actually giving you the power to be heard and seen for who you are and bringing your power into the world your way. So that's really what it's about. I guess one of my coaches was calling it the ultimate guidebook for visionaries and thought leaders to who are ready to be seen and heard so that they can create the impact they were born for. So the key takeaways are like sort of it comes with workbooks as well. So I have like the stories, and then I have a few sort of links back to research and things, and then I have little takeaways for the user, and then there's a workbook to go with it for those who want to dive deeper. So I should have probably said that in the beginning. So it's kind of like it's supposed to be entertaining and empowering, and I'm freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Full throttle
So
and torque.
yeah, I always drove a motorbike back in India. Uh, does your book say more details, technical details that women can grasp it and ride the Himalayas? There is a tour that I want to do. It's in my bucket list. It's the bike tour in the
Oh, I would love.
Himalayas.
It doesn't have anything like that, but I did ride an Enfield in India, so
Yeah,
there will be a little
yeah.
bit of stories there. And I would love to go in the Himalayas on an Enfield. How good? Let's do it.
Should we plan a trip? Let's do it.
Let's plan it. Let's plan it.
Yeah,
Full
it's
throttle
been
and
on.
torque, guys. Eh?
Yeah.
We
So,
can change this world.
as you said, you are different. I'm also very different. I find car driving very difficult.
You find
I mean,
what?
I find car driving difficult, but you
Oh yeah,
give
but
me a
motorbikes
motorbike,
it's easy.
I can't. So car is like nobody can understand when I say like, oh, car is like you are sitting on one side of the motorbike and doing all the around, but in the motorbike you're on the center. You're on the center of the vehicle.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
are
yeah,
the
and it's much
center.
smaller, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the car, you're cornered.
Yeah. And it takes up so much space, and there's so much you need to look out for. Now, I
Yeah.
must admit that driving in India and driving in Australia is very, very different because in India and in a lot of other countries like Indonesia and Thailand and places, you are responsible for what's in front of you, not what's behind you. Here we have to look everywhere, and I'm just gonna say this out very quietly. People in Perth drive very strange. It's a friend of mine actually thought that people here that there was some hidden rule that you have to drive 10 kilometers an hour under the under the speed limit because everybody was driving so slowly here.
Mm.
So, he was from Switzerland. Because you spent time in
Mm.
Switzerland, right? So
Yeah.
wonderful. Oh well, I hope that that was helpful, and I hope it'll be helpful for anybody that's watching it afterwards. It's on Facebook, and I'm going to get a few snippets from here because I think there were some good questions. Usually, I just sit here and talk to myself, but I'm going to do a few more of this because they're fun. But thank you so much for showing up, both of you,
Yeah.
um, and supporting this journey. It's fantastic, and I'll post the
I'm
links
really
and things
looking
there.
forward to read the book. I can already imagine. I can already imagine you in a motorbike and your stories. I really have the picture. Like,
Maybe I should
I'm
put like
so.
a separate reward in there to say $5,000 to help Gree get her motorbike back on the road.
Yeah, I totally can imagine already all the stories it can come with. And yeah,
I hope I won't disappoint, but I do
no,
like to
you
tell
can.
stories, and my muse Nathan, he says, but Gree, it's already really good, and I'm like, yes, thank
Mm.
you.
Yeah.
But I hope I won't be disappointing too much, and that there aren't that many motorbike stories, but it's shaped like a motorbike journey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Yeah.
have to
Okay.
sprinkle in a few more because I still have to do my last couple of edits. So
Okay.
awesome. All right.
Yeah.
I will talk to you soon, both of you, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Take care of yourself, Ray.
Yeah. I'm
Turmeric
better
with
now.
milk. Turmeric with milk
Oh,
helps
turmeric
a
is
lot.
good. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll
With
get some
milk
of that.
helps a lot. Yeah.
It does.
And ginger with lemon and tea, that also helps. But turmeric milk, you,
I don't
it'll,
like milk. Can I have it with water?
yeah, yeah,
All right. Thank you.
yeah,
Now everybody knows that on Facebook, I'm sure.
yeah.
All right.
See you.
Thank you.
See
See you.
you
Bye.
now.
Bye.